let's have a look at some highlights. It was a very interesting innings from New Zealand's perspective. They were in trouble up front.
Yeah, certainly struggled to get any momentum early. Guptill dragged one on. Sort of back of some good bowling from both the Curran brothers. They were very impressive in terms of their control of line in particular. Munro got underway. That was after a long period of time. New Zealand were under a bit of pressure. And then Seifert, that was probably the shot that released the pressure and gave New Zealand a bit of momentum. They got 21 off this over from Curran, which included 3 sixes. That got New Zealand back to a point of 39 for 2 at the end of the power play, but really couldn't get the initiative. From a bowling point of view, that was a wonderful shot using the wind. But Curran, he was very, very impressive. Sam Curran, 3 overs. And then Jordan came on. This was a low full toss, which Munro looked like he was about to get underway, but he just chipped it to mid-wicket. New Zealand, once again, it's long hop. Every time there was a loose delivery, it just basically went down the throat of one of the fielders in the deep. Here we see Seifert, he's used the wind again, made the reverse sweep. But New Zealand, as I said, every time they started to get some initiative, a wicket fell. This was de Gronholm, he played the one-handed 6 over deep square leg. And then a long hop, which de Gronholm hit straight down deep mid-wicket's throat. And that was the time when New Zealand just kept losing wickets. So every time they wanted to up the ante, they lost a wicket, and then batsmen had to get underway. Ross Taylor came out. He played a nice innings, but he was never able to get that strike rate above sort of 140. Seifert, this was high. This was marginal. Went upstairs, but the umpire decided it was just below waist height. And Seifert went when he was just looking to grab some initiative. So once again, England were in charge. Some deft touches from Taylor. He got himself to a nice little 40. And this was the innings to me that actually gave New Zealand a chance, got them to 150. Really tough ask coming out at 6 when every batsman struggled to get underway. But Mitchell was good. This was Ross Taylor down the ground for 4. It was an innings that needed the flourish at the end, which New Zealand never really got. As I said, Mitchell got 30 odd off 17, showed some power down the ground. But all the English bowlers were impressive, all went for less than 35.
Bowlers were good and tidy in the field as well.
I thought England were tidy, but as I said, New Zealand just never really got that initiative, and I think they're probably 20 short of what they'll need.
New Zealand opened the bowling with Southey and also Lockie Ferguson. England kick-started the innings when they took Scott Kuggeleijn apart, to be fair. Elwood Milan is very fine player, didn't really carry on today after the drop catch by Guptill, a very hard one. In the end, he chipped one really on the angle down to Sodhi, and that was Vince. And from that point onwards, he found space and he found an ability to play on the surface. So many gaps with precision. He really just eased the game away from New Zealand. Terrific catch in the outfield to get rid of Johnny Bairstow for 35. That was Martin Guptill. He was to take another one very shortly. But whilst that was happening, James Vince at the other end was just superb. Glorious shots, and that was just made to look so easy. This shows there's room for class and poise. They tried the aerial approach, a short pitch approach at Owen Morgan. He's finding a way to beat it these days. A little ramp shot there, a nice charge and hit straight from Vince. Still, he hit a bad ball from Mitchell Santner. He dragged it down and he was furious that he couldn't go on and finish the job, but Sam Billings did. He came out and found some timing as well. 14 from just 11 deliveries in support of Owen Morgan. And in the end, the final blow summed up the day. England good by a margin. 7 wickets, 1-0 is the lead.